Everybody, it's Invicta. It's time another Eden Run here, the Binding of Isaac Victor Repentance Plus series. Happy Friday, Mosh Pit. Hope your early weekends are going off to a fantastic start. We are waiting for another video to cross 3,000 likes, although we do have a couple of videos that are very close from this past week, as well as a YouTube short. So thank you all very much. We're getting there. We are getting there towards the Get Down Mr. President Challenge. And also, people have been giving me feedback, and I am going to take an item every time that we have to restart the floor, but it can only be a boss item. So, it can only be a boss item. That's how I'm going to do it, because that way I can at least get some incremental stat ups without having to worry about overloading the run and then it just becomes too easy. So, here's your meme of the day, brought to you. It's also a Mosh Pet of the day, sent in here by meh_PL on the Invicta subreddit. Great name. Title thread was my cat Freya also enjoys watching the videos, and in the thread they also said long-time viewer, first-time poster. When I'm watching Invicta, my cat sometimes hops onto my desk and just watches with me. Also, thank you for making my days/nights more enjoyable. Invicta with an uwu face after that. So thank you very much, or a kitty face. It's the colon and the 3 after that. You know which one I mean. So thank you very much, meh_PL and Freya. Always cats, man. It's always cats. Seed day is going to be Papa Sierra Kilo Golf X-Ray Zulu 0 Lima. We have got some kind of crazy, I don't know what, Cinderella haircut or something. Honestly, it looks like a burlap sack that Isaac kind of tore in half and then just put on his head. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. We also have bone spurs to start with. Terrible tears rate here. Base damage, so that's okay. See here, bone spurs trying to do some good here to make us a little bit of a wall. We already took damage, and it's to be expected. You got the corn flies that always read your inputs, and then on top of that, you got to factor in clown physics. Oh, baby, Mega Bean, let's go. Mega Bean. It wasn't enough that they gave us Mega Bean and then gave us a massive buff, then they had to nerf it. Of course. I don't know why we get that a lot. Same thing goes to the Jar of Wisp. We talked about this a couple days ago, or if not maybe yesterday. This is a different day that I'm recording this episode here. But it is disappointing whenever we finally get some kind of like, yes, we're finally getting some good fun items there, and then for some odd reason they get rebalanced and then nerfed again. That's what happened with Mega Bean. Mega Bean was a 4-room cooldown, which was fantastic. It felt balanced because it's only a one-time use item for full charge, just like anything else. So I don't really see how detrimental to the game's integrity it could be for players just to have a 4-room room clear, essentially. And that's it. And it does, I mean, Mr. Mega, or Mega Bean does the Mama Mega effect, and that's fantastic. When it kicks in and it pops off, it's great. But my argument is that then we didn't need to change it in the first place then, if that was the case. I don't understand this flip-floppy back and forth Blizzard balancing system that we've got going on in Isaac sometimes. It's frustrating because there are items where you wish that they were better and they make it better. You're like, okay, I can see some builds here, and then they revert it or turn it to something kind of worse. And yeah, Mega Bean fits that target. Unfortunately, we're not going to have, unless we go into the curse room and there's combat in there. We are not going to have. If I bomb this here, we can. I don't think the super secret room's here, but that bomb will hit that bomb, which will hit that. And we get Ace of Spades, gives us some keys. So yeah, it's kind of just the. It feels like it's just the way things go now in Isaac, and it really does kind of feel like we're getting a live service treatment here. I could buy the full charge. The super secret room is here, by the way, but gonna be turdlings. Gotta be careful. This is not a gimme fight here. We can get a monster amount of keys though, as I just did. It also takes away of the turdling or the dips for a grand total of half a second. The only good thing about here is that we have bone spurs, which is going to act as interference and shields for us, but this is a highly dangerous fight, especially when you have trash tears rate right now like we do. I don't know how we didn't get hit by that. Do not underestimate the turdlings. They are extremely dangerous. Bone Spurs really did a lot of heavy lifting there. Yeah, we get it, buddy. We get it. You're dodging. We could go into the curse room. We might as well. We have 2 HP. This is also kind of a juicy room here for us to use Mega Bean to see if we can maybe get a crawl space, but I think that we can get, I don't know, there you could go either way. Maybe we find the boss early on the next floor, maybe not. A soul heart here and a lucky penny. Oh, if I was quick enough, I could have pushed that over there. I'm gonna do it because I know the secret room is there. And sometimes we can get a full charge inside of the secret room as well, so that's okay. There was nothing in the shop that I really wanted, so we'll just head on down. We gotta wait. We got a golden key, and we look at that. We got 2 cents. Who knows how useful that 2 cents will be? I certainly don't, but you can. You can find out if you want to skip ahead. I don't recommend it. We're going to last week's question of the episode, coming in from the Rock episode. And that one was I think most people got the reference there. I didn't want to go for Dwayne The Rock Johnson because we usually reserve him for Rock Bottom. Obviously that one was Terra. And some people, it does get a little bit confusing when we interchange The Rock with, you know, non-Rock Bottoms. Or basically any item that doesn't have the word rock in it. I understand the confusion. But I was like, we probably will get enough people who know the Sean Connery, Nick Cage film of 1990 or whatever it was. I do think that The Rock was probably, and still is probably, Nick Cage's best film. That I've seen anyway. He may have other ones that people rant and rave about, but I don't watch movies that much. I honestly don't know if we're going to get a full charge here before the boss. Wow, that pre-fire through the fire, dude. Okay, game. You woke up Neo here. Yeah, we need to get Tears Rate upgrade because obviously 2.0 is not going to cut it. No, you can't hit me, game. You got your one cheap shot, and that's all you're getting. This is not a good angle here against this champion. Yep. Just as I was saying. So we need to hold on to this devil deal here. These are really, really bad rooms for us to be going into with very low DPS. All rooms are bad whenever you have low DPS, but this one in particular is really bad because you can't instantly eliminate them, and they get more than one opportunity to shoot at you, and that's bad. Another bad room here. Had to wait for that top one, that top gaper to move. Again, Bone Spur is doing a great job here, but we got to stay locked in because we can't lose this devil deal. We need to get a devil deal item right now. Otherwise, our existence is going to be very painful very soon. We have all the right tools. We got good shot speed. We got movement speed. We've got an excellent spacebar item. And we also have a very long and narrow map. So all the pieces are here for a Friday fun day. But it's only 4-2. No. I refuse to take part in this room. You know, so we get a big time explosion there. Limehorn. Marbles. And we get the mark, which is a very good item for us to get. Movement speed, damage. Still no tears, but we also get curved horn, which is going to help us out with damage. Still need tears, though. So anyway, that question of the episode coming in from CDawg1228 on the Rock episode, and the question was simply just question of the episode, how are you? Doing great. And that was the question of the episode. Thank you very much, CDawg. Not really Isaac related, but 100 at the time of this recording, 165 upvotes, which is a very high amount of upvotes. People wanted to know how I'm doing, apparently. Doing all right. I just tried out Night Rain, the Elden Ring game, and it just there's something about Souls-likes, man, that I cannot compute with my brain. Unlike Monster Hunter, which is a game that I am actually good at, all Souls-likes have the same really bad controls and even worse camera, and I will die on that hill. I am not afraid to say something bad about a FromSoft game. And I think that it was, for the record, I liked Night Rain a lot more than Elden Ring. I hated Elden Ring. I thought it was just a very overhyped, not fun game. And it's a game that gets more frustrating than fun. Look, I'm used to frustrating games, all right? Frustrating games and still yet being rewarding are my forte. That's what my whole job is to do. But I think that the difference here between a game like Isaac and a game like Elden Ring is that Elden Ring seems to be just made that way, like, deliberately frustrating. Isaac has that too, obviously, but I do feel like Elden Ring and any FromSoft game is always going to be like that, and it's done deliberately. Maybe not accidental frustration, but definitely there. Whereas Isaac can be mean-spirited and it's frustrating, but it still ends up being pretty much rewarding in the end. And I'll give you a good example of this. So, but by the way, if you don't know what Night Rain is the newest installment in the Elden Ring franchise, which is basically a speedrunner's paradise, I guess. It's basically a boss rush mode where it's also a roguelite. So you run around, you get levels, you collect items, and you just get buffs. And it's almost, if you could picture a Fortnite RPG, it's kind of like that. There's a moving storm, there's a definite end to your day, which culminates with a final day boss, and then you just do it again. And I believe that there's 3 days total. So, my first time playing, in the tutorial, they give you this boss that you don't know if this is a boss or like if it's just a tutorial boss. Well, of course, in FromSoft games, nothing is a tutorial boss. And they make you follow this NPC that you just rescued, and essentially what they do is they set you up for a boss. You're like, oh, cool, this is going to be fun. But then when the boss spawns, it spawns right on top of you without any warning, without any cooldown or any sort of alert. And it almost kills you. So that's the kind of stuff, the mechanics in there that some people find funny and some people will just say it's trolling. But to me, it's aggravating because I'm trying to learn the game. We all know what Souls-likes are, but it's still a new game. You know, and the game just comes off as cheap. There's other sort of I would call I'd say unearned deaths in FromSoft games and Souls-likes in general that I'm really not down for. Most of the time, whenever I'm playing one of those games, I'm fighting with the camera. It's mostly fighting with the camera. And I usually have my settings tweaked to where I have maximum camera speed, and I've got a pivot and all that kind of stuff. And it still is a frustrating endeavor. The game wants to either not lock on to the target that's right next to me, or if I play without the lock-on feature on, it just decides to face me in the other direction, and then I'm face full of wall. At least the camera is backed up into the wall, and you just can't see anything. That is the reason why I did not play Elden Ring, and why I stopped playing Dark Souls 3. So that part was not fun, but I do like what Night Rain is doing. And for the record, I was also playing solo, which is the game is not tuned for solo at all. It is designed exclusively around multiplayer, running in a squad and stuff, which is cool. I think that's going to be fun whenever I can finally get a squad going. But man, I was reminded very quickly why I don't play Souls games, because for me it's a very frustrating endeavor. When you're talking about a very precision combat oriented game that has really, really challenging bosses and cheap hits and boss attacks that seemingly have infinite range, even though it doesn't look like it, yada yada yada. And then you have to worry about not being able to see where the boss is because the camera is stuck in a wall, or it's just looking in the complete opposite direction of where it needs to be. We've got to get some tears right here. It's good that we have 7.20 damage, but we're going to be coming up against it here on the next floor if we don't get something here. I was hoping we were going to move Mega Fatty into that barrel there. And we did. We're having used bombs here. Again, even though our damage is looking good on paper, our DPS is not. Shot speed and movement speed. And we get flying, and this also contributes towards Leviathan. So now what we can do is we can go into the boss trap room. Really? Deck of cards. Maybe we can get something lucky here. Strength card will protect us on the next in the boss trap room. So if anything, if we need to, I can pop the strength card in the boss trap room to guarantee that at least we won't perish. In fact, it might be smarter for us, and is smarter for us, to get rid of the Black Soul Heart while having the strength card procced before, and getting rid of it before the room ends. So that way we can convert it into a red heart container, because the strength card will not kill Isaac. If it's the last HP that you've got, it will not kill you. Normally, under regular conditions, the strength card will retrieve the HP upgrade that it gives you temporarily. As soon as you leave the room, you lose that HP, and it's gone. But if you happen to use the strength card and then get rid of a soul heart, leaving you with no HP, the game will not allow you to perish because of that. Look at Sty. I am going to use the strength card in here because I do want the red heart container. Sty is excellent for us, but again, it's just not a tears up. Get rid of Gertie. She's going to drop a soul heart, and that's excellent for us as well. We have red champion Mega Fatty. So the goal here is we have to get rid of this black soul heart before we leave this room. Now, what's nice about that soul heart from the blue Gerties is that we can come back in here and just be... It's just an HP upgrade at this point, which is really, really nice. Oh, do not pick it up, Isaac. There we go. So the strength card is still active right now. I'm going to walk out. There we go. So we now have a permanent HP container, and we can go back and pick up our soul heart. So that was perfectly executed right there. And exactly what we needed to do on a run like this. We're not in dire straits right now, but we are getting we're getting very close to it because of the fact we have just zero tears rate right now. Rotten Heart does not help us. Oh boy, it's only going to get harder here, team. So we really got to be locked in here. But in regards to the question of the episode from last week, I appreciate anyone who might be, for whatever reason, worried about me. I promise you, you don't have to worry about that. It is all good. Let that be one less worry on your mind. The last thing you have to worry about is how I'm doing. Promise you, it's all Gucci, baby. I do want the Justice card, but I'm not going to use it until we go into Secret Room. I've been waiting for a full charge on Mega Bean. We can do this. What? Oh, of course. And that was in hopes of us finding the Secret Room so I could use the Justice card in there. We are not going to do. Oof, we can't even destroy that black poop in one cycle of tears. That's real bad. Soul heart here, which is good. Yeah, don't worry about Zinvicta. I appreciate everybody's concern, but there's nothing to be concerned about. Be concerned about us on this run. How about that? You want to worry about something, worry about this run, because right now it's not looking good. We gotta really push here. Looked away for half a second, dude. I'm going to go in the curse room. We have a guppy item. I was hoping that curse rooms could prove me wrong, but man. We still should drop the chests from Justice in the secret room. Doesn't guarantee you secret room items, but if there's a reroll machine in there, good things can happen. It's like dropping the Justice card, the reverse Justice card in the curse room does not guarantee you red chests. Sometimes it can be. It is influenced by the room that you're in. Beelzebub, which is, well, 1/3 of Beelzebub. We get Lost Fly. No idea how badly I just want to rip Mega Bean here. We're really having to take a sort of guerrilla style of combat right now, just due to the lack of tears. Oh, how that didn't hit anything. There's a tinted rock over there, obviously. And we do get a tears rate upgrade. Consolation prize. Those golden chests, man. You ask, they deliver. There's a double tinted rock in here. See if you can spot it before I clear the room. No hints. There's only 7 or 8 rocks in here. It wasn't that one. It wasn't those. It was this one. See that dark X right there on the top left? There's a double tinted rock. And we get small rock, which is going to give us another tears up and damage up. We have way too much movement speed, so going off of a question of the episode or two ago, talking about lowering our stats deliberately, this definitely qualifies as that. I have no clue where our secret room is. Oh yeah, they're going for, so this is the issue with it's the same issue with Lost Fly as it is with Scapegoat. You just never really know when they're targeting you, or they're targeting whatever they have aggro on. Can't be here. I'm gonna be real salty if it's gonna be off of the mob trap room. So we have one of those. We have one of those secret rooms that doesn't play by the rules here. The only other, no, it's not. It's not in the red, or it's not in the big room, unless if I unlocked it and didn't see the entrance in here. This is where it should be, right here. This is where it should be, but there's a skinny room there, so it can't be there. We used Mega Bean in here, so we know it's not attached to that. It can't be here because, again, we use Mega Bean, so I don't know where the secret room is. I really don't. It's one of those cheaty secret rooms that just don't feel like following the usual rules. What's happening here? We already tried to the right of the item room. That's where it should be there as well. Oh, it cannot be there. Dude, I don't know. I have to know. Wait. I'm not going to open it. I just want to see this. That's a very unusual secret room spot. It's a valid spot, but that's kind of a dirty spot too. Yeah, I don't know about that one, man. It's a valid spot, but that's a very, very, very low percentage chance there. So instead of going to the secret room, I'm going to use this in the devil deal if we get one. Brownie's just making a big old mess of things, as always. Get behind our little wall of bones here and take eye drops. Now, remember, we have Mega Bean. We can get into Boss Rush. That's the reason why I'm not concerned with even caring about Boss Rush right now. As long as we go into the Mom fight with a teleport card and with a full charge on Mega Bean, we can get Boss Rush. So we aren't really on a time limit here. We've gotten some tiers upgrades. And eye drops definitely breaks the tears cap, which is really nice. It's still a very inconsistent item in that it gives you random extra shots, which can be good most of the time. But sometimes when you're wanting an extra shot, it doesn't happen. And then sometimes when you're not wanting an extra shot, like if you have Death's List, or if you have some high-value target that you're trying to get out, but it's got a really bad death rattle, that can sometimes take you by surprise. But that's a very niche, very, very, very niche circumstance that you don't really have to worry about too much. Could have taken Rosary Bead there, but I didn't. My throat's kind of dry today. Definitely been pushing it with the addition of a 6th stream. Essentially, what is a 6th work day here? Tuesday streams, which I'm all for, by the way. No way we don't use it in here. The D7 out of nowhere. I'm not sure. That must have just spawned there and just was there. Use the Justice card here. We get Latchkey and another Tears Up. Let's go, baby. Look at those golden keys fly. All right, now we're starting to produce some results here. The Keeper. It does really nothing for us at this stage in the game, but there it is. Gonna have the full charge. Still looking for the Mom fight. We also need the Fool card. What's happening here? If we can get some more soul hearts. So our tears rate has pretty much come around here. But we are not really in a great spot still. You saw right there how they all kind of converged on Lost Fly while we were in the while we were in the line of fire. Yeah, that's just something you got to be careful about whenever you have something that takes aggro. Dude, I swear. So you saw how quickly they swapped to Lost Fly there. That's a little double shot there from eye drops. Okay, so we got into boss rush here. The reason why we come in here now instead of waiting till after Mom is dead, because we won't be able to go in here while also getting the Devil Deal. So we're gonna have to fight Mom again. I'm gonna take Virgo. Hopefully we get some good pills. I haven't noticed any pills at all, so we'll see. We have a couple of red hearts. We also have polar invincibility, so we should at least do this. No, we don't. Sorry, it's Virgo invincibility. And we get the pact. That's going to give us Leviathan as well as a big time tears up and damage up. The pact making some big time plays here. I will take the mysterious paper because that does allow us to have the Polaroid and the negative effect. There's so much money here. Just put it all away. You're rich, Isaac. Invest in something good. Good Lord. I mean, hey, I'll take it. All right, so we're in a significantly better spot than we were a couple minutes ago when we first fought Mom. By fought Mom, I mean we just used Mom. We used Mega Bean on her. That was it. But having Leviathan gives us a damage upgrade. It also gives us 2 soul hearts and flying. We already had flying, of course, but one of the better transformations in the game, in my opinion. Very dependable, very easy to get if you're going for Devil Deals. It almost appears naturally, really. One final shot, man. And a Krampus fight. It's always on those last hits. I don't know how that always happens. The game gets one final parting hit. Gonna take the telescope lens. Hopefully we can get something like Uranus or even Terra. Use the sun card in here. Hopefully execute the room, and we do. And look at that, we get the planetarium. Okay. Okay now, okay. So the planetarium showing up immediately after we take telescope lens, which it was probably a guarantee at that point because we hadn't seen a planetarium at all up to this point, and the telescope lens is just going to further buff that. Not need Esau Jr. Get Luna. Luna's okay. It's not necessarily the best thing that we want. It does give us a tears up, of course, but and a half soul heart. It's not terrible. It's just not what we really truly wanted. The tears up that you get is only beneficial for the entire floor. Our tears rate is pretty much solved, and Terra or Uranus or even Neptunus would have been a much better pick for us. Honestly, shout out to Bonespur. Bonespur is just making some big time plays all over today's. All over today's episode. We have Curse the Unknown. I don't know how much HP we have left, so we need to stop throwing away all this HP here to really bad damage. We don't want to be crisscrossed from Bloat because he will attack with the Brimstone Fire, the Brimstone Beam on Lost Fly if he's aggroed on him. Again, it's impossible to know which target is actually hitting our taunt or not. Get Blue Cap, which is going to max out our tears rate at the hard cap of 6.5. Okay. Tears rate, no longer a problem. We do still have a decent amount of HP left, but not as much as you would hope. Luna's going to help out because at least we are able to get a half soul heart every single time that we find a secret room. There we go. There we go. Start sniping these fools. Definitely missing all the Eye of Belial runs that we've had this past week, really. June's been, I cautiously want to say, we're almost 1 week into June, and things have been going okay so far. We haven't really had a bad run yet. The one run that was kind of bad, we ended up having a really just big blowout run at the end of the day. Let's see if this is the right way to go now. Spectral Tears would also be very nice, but at least we have flying. We can get around the bad angles and not have to worry about the environment. I think, honestly, the play of the episode was that strength card that we did. And then we lucked out by getting Blue Gerties, and Blue Gertie gave us that soul heart. We get a health up, which is nice. That was thanks to Virgo. Virgo gives us neutral or positive pills, by the way, in case you did not know. And also gives you that very awesome, very strong Virgo shield. We could go fight Old Hushy, but I think we all know the answer to that one. Unless we had Keeper Sack or something like that and restock, I definitely would not ever fight Hush on this build. Could I fight him? Yes. Could I beat him? Most likely, but definitely not guaranteed. Do I want to? No. All right, so we got Mega here. Mega Bean's kind of run its course, so we don't really need it anymore on this run. We've gotten Boss Rush. We could have gotten Hush if I really wanted it, but we just talked about that. And Mega should be enough to seal the deal here. Little snipe there on the Walking Host. Let's go back in here and get some more HP from Luna. At Tears Ray. We get nice. We actually get a black rune here. So that could be useful in the chest if we end up getting just Garbo in there. I think you should always prioritize the throwers. They should be your #1 target whenever they spawn, because they will very easily ruin your day. Oh. Let's see. Double Loki. No thanks. What? That Ipecac tier detonated right on Isaac's face. I thought that I had sidestepped that. My fault, Isaac. Come on now. Taking a lot of really bad damage in this episode. But also made some big time plays. It all balances out. Like it usually does. Let's not get cocky now. We're still in a very losable situation here, even with Mega. I did not see that shot. I thought that was a bone from Bone Spur. We need Mega for the chest. An Eternal Heart from Mystery Sack. It's gonna be a nail biter. All right, here we go. Armor Boy, Dogtooth, Spider Babby, and another taunt. That's what I have to say about that. And we got 4 luck and 0.4 shot speed. That is unreal. It could have hit any one of these stats. The only thing I can think of is that it didn't factor into the tiers or the movement speed. Therefore, it overloaded the chances for damage, range, shot speed, and luck. But all 4 of them, that is truly some heinous RNG right there. I was hoping that we would get maybe a luck or a damage upgrade or 2. So that's a big yikes right there for me, Chief. Pill's here. Thanks for more luck. Burp. Here's up. Yet another very weirdly placed secret room. But it could also be, remember, Luna spawns, if I didn't say it already, Luna also spawns an extra secret room per floor. So it's possible that that one kind of spawned in a wonky spot just because of the fact that it's the extra secret room. We got more shot speed. At some point, shot speed becomes irrelevant. It's just, it gets too high to the point where the enemies really can't jostle around too much harder in the room. Good job, Lost Fly. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about, son. Now that's a big time play right there. Leading both of the Sea Dizzles by their nose while doing damage. That's what I'm talking about. You get away from Lost Fly. This is a bonkers room right here. Amazing we didn't take damage in there. We can clear one more room, then we got Mega to finish off Blue Baby. Come on, Lost Fly. Come on, Lost Fly. Here we go, baby. Nice touch. Too low, too late. Worm Buddy! I'm sorry, we almost faded you, Worm Buddy. But thank you for watching, everybody. I think we're going to be okay. Especially now with Worm Buddy. Mega's only going to get Blue Baby about half down. Oh, maybe more than that. Or maybe he's just going to kill him. I'll take it. Thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you all have a fantastic start to your early weekend here on Friday. Don't forget, for those of you who are TCG enthusiasts, if you want to check out our Pokemon breaks happening live over on Twitch in about 6 hours, 5 hours from now, depending on what time you watch this. At least when it goes live, anyway. Then go over to twitch.tv/Sinvicta. You can check out all the links down below, including going to Sinvicta.tv, which is where we do all the Pokemon stuff like that. And thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. As always, I'll see you all next time. Till then, so long, everybody. Thanks for watching this video. Like the patrons of mine, like Organic Mechanic 270, Adarishi Datenshi, and Dershuti01. If you'd like to have your name read at the end of Isaac episode, check out my Patreon campaign, which you can find over at patreon.com/Sinvicta.